Hello and welcome to the September 2018 TELedvisors webinar. Our subject today is Meet Your Advisors, who we are, what we do and how we got here. TELedvisors work in a wide range of roles to support technology-enhanced learning and teaching, but until quite recently there have been no qualifications or courses that lead people directly to this job. Sharing our stories and our diverse pathways into becoming an advisor is an important part of understanding and demonstrating the wide array of skills, knowledge and experience that we contribute to our workplaces. Today we have 6 advisors from institutions around Australia sharing their stories. Hyacinth Steele from QUT, Michael Sankey from Griffith University, Lindsay Rattray from Navitas, Marlene Daicopoulos from Murdoch, Jenny James from Griffith University and Tom Worthington from the Australian National University. Our host today is Lindsay Rattray.
And I will share our questions for today, which are what's your current role and some detail there. What do you spend most of your work time doing? What did you do before you were an advisor and how did you get to this position? And then what qualities and skills do you think are important in your job or in our jobs in general? All right, well, let's move on to Tom. Tom Worthington from ANU, who also works as a consultant. Tom, go for it.
Okay, I'm just not quite sure how to go to the next slide now. Okay, no, yes, that's good. That's good. Somebody changed the slides for me, which is good. Leave it on that one. So I'm a computer professional and EdTech designer in a freelance role. So if you want your computer strategy fixed or education, you can pay me money. But as well as that, I'm an honorary lecturer in computer science at ANU. So I will teach courses here and supervise students doing projects. And I'm a member of the Professional Education Governance Committee of this Computer Society, who set the educational standards. So accredit degrees at Australian universities, assess the qualifications of people applying for work visas in Australia who claim to be computer experts. And so I've done a little bit of setting the standards for all of that. A fun thing at the moment is I'm an enthusiast for the ANU's new teaching buildings. You can see a diagram there. About a year ago, we had a wonderful meeting where all the professors filed in and members of the executive told them, we're going to demolish the central lecture theatres. And the professors said, but where are we going to give lectures? And they said, well, we're going flexible. We're going to have multi-purpose, multimodal learning spaces. And it was wonderful to watch the fear on the faces of the professors. So I'm helping with some of the background in getting things ready for this new environment, which is quite exciting. Can we go to the next slide? Thank you. So I'm not officially employed as an educational designer at the ANU, but I give informal advice as a computer science lecturer. My colleagues wander in and go, oh, we want to put this online. Oh, we put this online, no, the students aren't reading it. What do we do? So it's kind of fun just giving that advice. These people have PhDs in computing or engineering or other fields, but when it comes to education, they tend to get a bit lost. And I suggest to them simple things like, students can't find the instructions online. We'll put the instructions next to where you want them to submit the assignment. And they go, oh, okay, which is kind of fun. I've become frustrated with computer people who teach computing not knowing how to teach. So I'm giving a presentation at a computer conference in Sri Lanka, suggesting more formal standards for the educational requirements for people who teach computing, and that we will formally recognise them as computer professionals, because at the moment, computing doesn't really get recognised compared to technical or academic skills. Next slide, please. before I was a ed advisor, I was a computer programmer with the public service. So I started out as a programmer's assistant, a clerk, and the Australian Bureau of Statistics trained me in-house in computing. So rather than formal university education, some of which I did, I learnt on the job, and that's coloured my approach to education. Where at the ANU now, I'm helping students who are doing internships in companies, they're doing group projects for real clients, and that hands-on approach comes out. And then looking at how we can use IT resources and learning management systems to help support that environment, rather than just watching videos or going to lectures. My last stint in the government was in the Defence Department, and one time I got to put on a uniform and fly out in a helicopter with a ship and talk to people and so forth, but I wasn't actually in the military. As director of the professional development for the ACS, I had to help set how we not only recognise the formal education of computer professionals, but how do they do their ongoing professional development with short courses, credit for attending events, and so on, which was kind of fun. I didn't have to do the work. We had paid staff to do that. How did I get to where I am? When I ceased being a public servant and became a freelancer, I asked the ANU if they'd like me to hang around. They made me a visiting fellow, and I've had various titles at the university since then. Essentially, I get a part of an office. I get treated as a staff member. I don't get paid unless I do a chunk of formal teaching. I became a tutor for the Australian Computer Society. The ACS decided to use Moodle for delivering online postgraduate courses, and they trained me online and in small group sessions on how to use Moodle, how to design a course. I got enthused by this, so I did courses at the University of Southern Queensland, the Canberra Institute of Technology, ANU, and last thing was Masters of Education at Athabasca University. Most of this online rather than face-to-face. And a course I designed 9 years ago, still running at ANU and at Athabasca in Canada. The ACS no longer delivers it unless you have enough people for the course. Last slide, please. What's important? I think training in education design, like a typical academic, I kicked and screamed when I was told that I should go and learn formally how to teach. I've been giving lectures for a decade. Why should I learn how to teach? But after the initial induction course, I found it very useful. It's particularly useful being an online student when you're learning how to deliver online courses and design them. Also, being an online teacher, a useful experience for teaching in general. It also helps to know the subject matter. So I'm a computer professional teaching computing. This is a picture of one of my professors from Athabasca. Only in 3.5 years, one of the two people I ever met in person, we were both at a conference in Hong Kong. He flew from Canada, I flew from Australia, and we sat around the conference dinner table talking about education and the frustrations of it, which was something you don't get normally when you're doing an online course. I've run out of time and things to talk about. Is it time for questions? Oh, okay, these slides are available. I'm just trying to find the discussion panel here. These slides are available on the web, and there's a few other, you can look at my blog and the latest book I'm reading. Questions?
Yeah, Tom, there was one from the chat, which is, do you find academics are more likely to come to you or take on your advice because you're one of them and you're not in a formal designer advisory role?
Yes, very much so. There is an attitude in academia where I have a PhD in astrophysics, so therefore why should I listen to some trumped up school teacher? I actually had one of my colleagues where I was recommending they engage a particular educational designer, and they went, oh, then they looked at their CV and said, oh, she's got a PhD in engineering, okay. And that's why they hired her. So it's quite frustrating.
Yeah. Yes, I can say I'm familiar with that issue. All right. Well, thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. I think so. We had a librarian, people who began, as a librarian, a photographer, a computer scientist, a marketer with an education degree, a designer, and an academic. So it shows you what a wide range of kind of backgrounds we have. And also, I think that we are defining this industry, this role, this set of roles as we kind of make our way through them, which is also what the blog is about. So please contact us if you have something you'd like to share, and you'll hear more about it soon. Thanks a lot to Wendy, and thanks to Kate for helping me through it. We got through, we're on time. So all good, thanks, and have a great day.